and we're joined by Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. Joey has a couple wins here at Michigan. When I think of Michigan International Speedway, I think about how successful you've been at this racetrack. Particularly, I mean, I don't think you finished outside the top 10 at this racetrack in a long time. So, what is it about Michigan that really suits your driving style?
Well, I think it's a lot of different things. Michigan's always a lot of fun, particularly on restarts. There's a lot to take advantage of. There's a lot of opportunity that arises in those moments, and it showed again in the spring when we were able to drive up to third with a car that wasn't quite as good as a third place car was. So we'll try to be better this time. I think our car, just to start off, has been substantially better than the last time we were here. So we made some good gains. It looks like our teammates got good speed. So we're hoping to try to turn some things around here and get our third win here in Michigan.
Okay, let's go ahead and open the floor for questions. We'll start with Claire B. and we'll work our way around.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. A lot of people think the race and watching, a race team, if they follow you, is just the race, but it's a whole weekend. And when you have so much you want to accomplish and get that win to get you in the playoffs, A, how do you not get desperate? And that, shakes everything up within a team. And B, how much of this weekend is important to be able to pull it off?
Well, I think to answer your question, you do get a little bit desperate, right? I mean, you got to win. There's no second option. So, the intensity is very, very high. Because you have to be on point all the time. Every change has to be a good one. Every lap has to be a good one. Every moment just becomes more and more important on the racetrack, and that's okay. That's where you find out what you're made out of. So I'm all right with that. That's basically what it's like for every driver that makes the playoffs and every team that makes the playoffs. They have to be better than what they were all year long to get to Homestead and race for a championship. So we're starting that a little bit sooner because we have to.
What about the weekend?
The weekend itself, obviously, like I said, during practice and stuff, that intensity's up throughout the whole weekend. It's not just the race itself. It's from when you start to think about what you're going to do here in Michigan on Monday, all the way through the week. There's a lot of thoughts that are going through your mind.
Go next to Wolfgang.
Joey, you race here in Michigan next week, totally extreme other racetrack in Bristol, much shorter. You're going with the same car, or you have for Bristol a special car? I think here the aero package is quite important. Bristol maybe not so important. So you modify the car, or you have a totally different car next weekend?
Yeah, we'll have a different car. We don't really ever turn around a car week to week. Not at Team Penske. That's a lot to ask for, to turn a car around. These cars are scheduled out months ahead of where they're going to go and everything, and because it's not just one car. You got your backup cars and all that, and when you have three teams you're trying to get everything ready for, and it's just the schedule becomes very important of where these cars are placed out, and it's strategically placed out in certain ways to make sure we have the best cars when we go to the racetrack. But what we run here in Michigan, body spec wise is pretty similar, but obviously the setup and everything underneath the car is completely different.
Do we have additional questions for Joey Logano? Let's go to Brian, then to Chris. Or we go Chris, then to Brian.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Joey, has it said in that you're going to be a dad? And what are you doing to prepare for fatherhood?
Well, there's I'm reading this book that Brad bought me called "Dude, You're Gonna Be a Dad," and it's actually been pretty accurate so far. It kind of takes you through the pregnancy stages of what your wife's going through, and that's been pretty accurate as I was reading it. But as far as the baby part, I haven't got to that part of the book. But besides that, we have just kind of we painted the room. We got a crib. We got the stuff. We did the registering, which was way more than I ever thought it would be. Way harder than I thought it would be. They gave us 2 scanners, and I was over in a corner scanning all the toys. I'm like, oh, cool, dump truck. Yeah, he needs a dump truck. And she's over there picking out the bottles, and I was like, well, maybe I should go back over there. So it's going to be fun, but really, you don't know what you don't know sometimes. Just like when I first started cup racing, I didn't know what I was doing. It's going to be kind of the same thing. I don't know if any parent really knows exactly what they're doing the first time they have a kid. I don't think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. But
You're the only one who doesn't know.
I'm the only one that doesn't know what they're doing. I know you're full of it. So we're gonna figure it out on the way. We are starting to schedule those things to go to classes and CPR classes and all this type of stuff to make sure we don't kill the kid. We don't want to do that. We gotta learn what we're doing.
The book should be titled "Dude, Stock Up on Your Sleep Now."
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Like, how much do you feed them? I don't know. We gotta learn all that stuff.
Good luck figuring it out.
Yeah.
Brian Nelson, MRN. Before I get to my actual question, Joey, have you had to go on any craving errands?
Ice cream, man. Ice cream is the fix-all. I tell you what. And it's a different flavor of ice cream a lot of times. So that's kind of that's the go-to for her, which is okay because I end up eating a lot of the ice cream too. I see how that works. Eventually, you have the dad bod, right? So I can see how that happens.
So you got Michigan, Bristol, then there's Darlington, and finally Richmond. As you're trying to win a race and secure your place in the playoffs, Michigan, Bristol, Richmond, could there be a better stretch of racetracks for you?
Probably not. Those are really good racetracks for us. Michigan, we've proven that we can run well here. Bristol is probably one of our best racetracks as well, especially in the fall race. The track's definitely different from the spring to the fall because there's so many different cars running on it, so it changes it up. Richmond, we've shown we can win there a couple times. I feel good about that. Darlington is probably the one that stands out to me that might be a little bit more challenging, but it is because we haven't won there. That's really the only reason. But we've had some top fives and run up front there. So I don't look at that racetrack and say we don't have a chance. I feel like we still be fine there. It just might be a little bit different. So, I think short tracks are a good place for myself and the 22 team in the past. So look forward to those races coming up, but mainly focused on, this weekend, obviously.
Any additional questions for Joey? All the way in the back. John?
Hi, Joey. John Kubo, Shake and Bake, Cleveland, Ohio.
Shake
August
and
18th.
bake.
Yes, sir. August 18th, Logan Lucky. Your silver screen debut.
Yes.
But not your first auspicious debut in a movie, Sharknado 3, oh hell no. How important is doing stuff like that, getting you guys closer and your fellow drivers to just relatable and having more fan appreciation for doing the things that a regular fan like myself can identify with?
I think it's important for a lot of different reasons. Yes, for one, like you said, kind of personality, but you're acting, so it's a little bit not your personality, right? You're acting as someone else most of the time. But, I think in a bigger scale, it's important for our sport to do things like that. We're reaching out to possibly non-fans of our sport, and maybe when they watch a movie like that and they see a lot of racing and NASCAR stuff, maybe they become a fan. Maybe it brings them to go to one race, and a lot of times when someone goes to a race, they get hooked, so maybe it helps kind of draw that stuff up. So anytime we can do things that are outside of the typical race market are things that I get really excited about, because not only are you growing your brand personally, but you're growing the brand of the sport, and ultimately that helps everybody.
Any additional questions for Joey? Well, Joey, congratulations on figuring everything out as far as
I don't.
Well,
I don't have anything figured out.
but we do appreciate you donating to the Next Kids Drive NASCAR campaign with an actual kid. That's great.
Yeah, there we go.
That's awesome. Good deal.
I'm going to keep my kid, though. Yeah. Good deal. It sounded weird when you put it that way, but yeah. Thanks, guys.